Gypsy owners, this is Alicia Garcia again. Thanks for joining me. In today's E-Entree video, we're going to be using the new Create a Critter cartridge, using this adorable little hedgehog. We're going to call him a porcupine today, as well as the new Give a Hoot cartridge, in order to make a scrapbook layout. Now, the Give a Hoot cartridge has several really fabulous borders. One of the features on the cartridge is the border feature. And so I'm going to show you today how to create a true 12-inch border for your scrapbook layouts. The first technique that I would like to show you today involves using the 12 by 24 inch mat. So I've selected that on my screen, and I'm going to hop over to my cartridge library, and I'll go to the fourth button. It correlates with the fourth feature in the handbook. This is the first button, second button, third button, and fourth button. So first, second, third, and fourth. And I'm going to select this rickrack. I'm going to choose about 7 of them and take them back to my mat. At this point, they're about 24 inches long, and obviously I need to make them a little bit smaller. I'm going to stick with them at about 17 inches long just so that I can manipulate them. What I'm going to do is go ahead and adjust the kerning, because at this point, once I've selected them, there is a space. Let's see if I can give you a view of that. There is a space between the little border pieces, and I need to actually make that space disappear and then weld them. So I'm going to go into the Advanced tab, and I'm going to select the kerning, and I'm going to lower the kerning, so I'm going to bring the two pieces closer together. And I will eventually start to see that gap overlap. And so when it overlaps by just enough, I can go ahead and stop. For this particular set, it says that it is at a negative 0.07 on the kerning. So now I can go back and adjust the size as I wish. So I'm going to select my piece, go to the width. I'm going to tell it that I want a 12-inch width, and it will move the size down for me. And I also happen to know that I would like to have my height be at 0.30. So I'm going to deselect the link for the height ratio. I'm going to select the height only and the number pad and type in 0.30, so that this will be just a bit over about a 1/4 of an inch or so. Now, placement on the mat is the most important. I'm going to pull my border down to the bottom of my screen, and here you're going to see that I've left this first square blank. I have not placed anything in that part of the grid, and here's why. If I would have put my border over into that first square, when my paper is on that portion of my Cricut mat, the paper that is lying on the outside of this dotted line here will not be cut by my Cricut. But if I place it outside of that first grid square, then I will be able to place my 12-inch by 12-inch paper on my 24 by 12-inch mat in such a way that it will be cut by the Cricut. So now that everything is the width that I need it to be, and I've got it placed on my mat correctly, I just need to go ahead and weld. So you can see that it's using 12 little squares on my grid mat, and it's time to weld. So I'm going to go through and group first. So I will select those. They are grouped, and I will select weld. Now my image is turned red, and so I can see that they are welded. I want to double check and make sure that all of my kerning is correct and that they are in fact connected to one another. So I'll go ahead and select the image and then select the preview. And in the preview I can see that where my little border strips are overlapping one another, they've turned gray, which means that they're welded and I'm ready to cut. Okay, I've pulled out my 12-inch by 24-inch mat. You can see it goes on for days. And as I mentioned before, this first square is the square that my paper is not going to rest in, because after the paper touches this line here, it's not going to cut. And if I only have a 12-inch piece of paper, you know that you're going to end up with like an 11.75-inch long border, which is not a true 12-inch border. So I'm going to skip that square completely, and I'm going to place my paper on the second square. So this whole strip is completely empty. I'm going to go ahead and lay my paper down, and that's a 12-inch bit of paper. And then the rest of this 12 by 24-inch mat is just empty. So I'm going to run this through my machine, and I'll show you what the final product is. Okay, I have peeled off the negative space from this border here, and I've laid down a true 12-inch wide piece of scrapbook paper, and you can see that my border is just as long as my 12-inch paper. I'm ready to go. I do have one more technique that I'd like to show you for this process if you don't already own a 12 by 24-inch mat. So let's get to that. The second technique for creating a 12-inch, true 12-inch border strip on your Gypsy involves only using a 12-inch mat. Now, this is not the most easy, like, paper saver way, but if you didn't have a 12 by 24-inch mat, you could still create a true 12-inch border strip by welding the pieces, ensuring that they are 12 inches wide, and then moving them at an angle on your mat. And so if you go to the Advanced tab, you can use this rotate key here. It looks like a circle with an arrow on it, and you can shift your border so that it's going diagonally across your 12-inch mat. And between about a 17 to a 20 degree angle, you're going to get your 12-inch strip to fit on that 12-inch mat. So the easiest way is the way that I showed you before with the 12 by 24-inch mat. Give both techniques a try and see what works best for you and what it is that you have available to you on hand. I've gone ahead and created a layout using the 12-inch strip that I previously made and using the Create a Critter cartridge. And so I'm going to go ahead and cut all those pieces out right now, and you guys can watch me put it together. I am going to be using some photographs of myself when I was a baby, just bawling, actually with my grandmother here. And so I thought that the title Prickly as a Porcupine would be fitting for them, because she is trying everything she can and I am just still not happy. So I'm going to go ahead and get this cut out, and I hope that you enjoy. Thanks for watching.